Oh. Oh, you saw that, right? It just did a really weird fade in. Oh, there you are. Okay, yeah, I think I have a different resource pack, or a different shader pack loaded. God. This is really disorienting, like waking up in the middle of the day. You just completely lose all sense of space and time. Thankfully, we have you here for a constant. You know, having a pet here is paying off for my mental health already. Hello, everyone, and welcome back once again to From the Fog Mystery House. And I think we have chosen a name for our cuddly little creature. Ooh, maybe we'll keep this shader pack for a while. This is really nice. But we gave you kind of a placeholder name, and it was meant to be replaced by audience suggestion, but I think going with something simple might be the best. And instead of replacing your name, why don't we make it something simpler, like Cece? I like that idea a lot, but maybe I'm biased considering I just finished Anthology of the Killer, and maybe you can be sort of a spiritual pet to BB. In any case, our work is simply never done. So we're heading back to the tower for now. I believe we slept in there last. Oh man. I just remembered, we've got to make some repairs to that. A couple of creepers detonated simultaneously last time, and now we're in a bit of a state. Yes, no, I knew to be suspicious of that glowing. Why is this happening? Why are you suddenly doing this? That doesn't make any sense. Did something break? Why was that the case? I haven't touched this in many parts now. And now you're starting fires? Do I have something that I can throw in there temporarily? Not really. Not really. Okay, well, we can stuff this with dirt, I suppose. That should be non-flammable. I don't want to leave this alone. We've got some more brick. We've got some cobblestone that we can fill in the base with. I'm hearing fires from the side. I don't like the sound of that. I don't like the sound of that at all. Hang on. Get out of here, you. Is anything burning out here? No. Doesn't seem to be, but why this sudden change to the way this works? Okay, well, forget it. Let's make sure that there's you in there, and you in there, and you in there. Wait, it's like some of the iron burned as well. Oh, don't worry, CC. I'm taking care of it. Don't you worry. Oh my god, they're everywhere. Everything's fine. Oh no, oh, what are you doing? CC, don't do that. That's a cool trick. Being able to phase through solid objects, but it really makes me nervous when you do stuff like that. Look at that. Blew straight through the top. I actually don't think we've used this room across the hall just yet, so maybe we can cash in there. This first balcony kind of being our sanctum. I have no idea if this is the way it was before, but to be honest, I do kind of like having it as part of the series where things get rebuilt differently. It's just kind of natural. You'll never remember just how it was. Well, the same was true of the Winchester Mystery House itself. It was destroyed, damaged, and rebuilt differently many times. Okay, this right here is going to be in need of some chalk then. We really don't want to lose track. I'll tell you right from the get-go that I think I'm going to be putting this series on a bit of a hold after this episode. I'll probably do like an abridged version just to get people up to speed with the first 10 episodes, but I do have to get started on the new update to Voices of the Void. And honestly, I have no idea where this thing can go from here. I mean, of course, I'm going to keep on building this, keep extending it, but that's a lot of record time, not a huge audience, although certainly really great for a series that's lasted this long. And I don't know, I just don't know how to keep this entertaining. This is a mighty fine spot for a bed, though. Just look at that. Just look at that. And just look at those creepers spawning on our roof, ready to drop down the second we wander in the garden. Well, didn't mean to do that, but I do feel that we need some sort of shortcut here. Maybe we'll make it something a little bit more complicated in the near future, but I really want this to be... I don't want to have to run a loop around the entire floor to get here. And we can begin construction on the next one. I just fell into my own trap. One of many in this place. You know, it's becoming increasingly clear that this place needs a more efficient way down. How that's going to manifest, I'm not yet sure. However, I think we're all thinking more or less the same thing. More or less the same thing that doesn't work in winter, actually. You holding up okay? Good. I have an idea. It's stupid, but it is an idea, and it's already the solution to the freezing problem for rapidly decreasing altitude. Let's put another door. We're going to need it right here. There we are. We now have roof access to here, and we need something which can just sort of, I guess, deposit us right where we need to be, say against a wall. A couple blocks in will do. Here we are, and now we can eventually have one of these little escapes on every floor. But for now, just the one will do us fine. I really hope I did this right! Hey there, Cece. And just like that, we have a quick exit, not only out of the tower, but into the earlier parts of the house. Oh, and another of your suggestions. Let's remove that gargoyle. What kind of place is this if we aren't using this as a diving board, like right now? There we go. The cacti are a little bit dangerous at the moment, but that's okay, just watch your back. This is very quickly becoming my favorite part of the house. It's the thing that's seen the most change, even while the actual structure has changed very little. Well, this lake is more frozen than we've ever seen it, but I do think it seems to be getting better. I mean, this is rain and not snow after all. Problem... I may have just ice-locked my boat. I brought it over here before. I don't even see it now. You know what? No matter. This actually allows us to kind of skate across this whole thing. Yep. No bow can catch me when I'm on ice. Yep. Now let's see, are you guys actually still burning embers even after all this time? Oh god. Oh god! Oh god! This house has seen no shortage of hardship. Thankfully, it seems like you got each other. Well, I'll happily help myself to the materials. I mean, while you're offering. Oh, look at what this place is doing to snow. Okay, I just need a whole lot more oak right now. That's all I care about. Yeah, something real strange is happening here. It's like the snow is breaking away and it's destroying the terrain around it. Is that maybe... Could this be related to whatever happened at the library? Yeah, no, some really weird things are happening in this world. Look at that. It looks like some kind of, like, industrial cooling tower or something now. That long trunk protruding out. So, in a new crisis, blocks seem to be disappearing randomly. And it's not making a tremendous amount of sense to me. Yeah, look. What gives? Alright, I just remembered I did this earlier, so, okay, no need to panic there. But nevertheless, that's very strange, right? We agree? Thing is, we're going to want to make sure that this is placed inward, because we don't want there to be any possibility of hitting that lip on the way down. So we've got to make sure that it's very safe and very flat. I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit startled by the gargoyle when I landed. There goes that chime. Which is the sign that we should be leaving now. Some of you suggested that 7:38 or 7:35 or whatever it is may actually have significance to, like, I don't know, maybe the moment my kingdom fell, the moment the rebels raised their flag over my palace. Well, I hang rebel flags in my palace now, but it's under quite different circumstances. You know, I'm realizing far too late that these two floors here would have been far better fan art rooms than anything I built off to the side of the library. But it's gotta be hidden, you know? I'm certainly not going to be able to fill it with everything, simply because this is a time-constrained series, and it's very time-consuming to set things up. But I'll definitely be adding as I go. It's also very resource-intensive. We haven't screwed up the view that much. Oh, look, we can use the shadow of the gargoyle as a clock. Technology is so much fun. Problem is, how do we avoid a repeat of what happened the last couple of nights? Oh. You know what? This may not actually be useful as a room. We didn't sleep through the night, so it must be too close to the last place we slept. Alright, there's plenty more to choose from around here, such as, you know, right here at the top of the stairs. That could also work. Still, we have to be more mindful of stuff like this. We have to be more mindful as these rooms get more enclosed. It's always, I don't know, a really bright and cheery feeling when you see a space under construction and open like this. But we've got to close it right up. Now, where does this actually lead to? This kind of leads to nothing. So I'm thinking we'll just... There's our second, even higher balcony. It's just like the first one, but with a slightly higher view. Now, as for the rest of this is actually, oddly enough, partly inspired by the layout of a certain map from Ready or Not, where we have kind of a looping hallway all around the outside, and then kind of a central room in the middle, and then stuff off to the outer ring. I don't really know how this comes together yet. Like, the thing is, I can't look at this in terms of building the most efficient room use, because then you're going to end up with a whole lot of cubes like we had early on. I don't want that. I want each room, or each floor at least, to feel unique. The way I've laid this out seems simple at first, but now it's actually kind of confusing me. And rather than try and work out what I actually wanted to do, I feel like that's just the sign that I'm doing this right. So I'm just gonna build this to the ceiling and call it good. I sort of like this, where here we have the one window in the corner of this really long and wide room. And what that means is that all the light is concentrated in just this little nook back here. The rest totally left in darkness. Well, now the rest totally left in darkness, and will be even more so once this floor is in. Problem now is, in correcting the problem we've had on the lower floors, we're gonna have a new problem on this one. This is why I hate working with slabs. It looks better if you can get it to work, but it complicates things to such a degree. Tell you what, at this rate, maybe it's a good idea to start putting a spire on this thing already. I mean, it certainly could have gone much taller, but at the rate we're going, we're only ever going to be adding to this? So maybe it would be smart to just cap this off, have some more stuff in here, and then move on to another wing. Trying to work up here is like trying to work over a pit of hungry sharks. Yeah, I'm basically using all the cobbled deep slate to do this, partly because it's what we did for the Witch's Tower, and partly because it's gonna incentivize me to go back down into the mines, which I really need. Yeah, so the problem with stairs and diagonals, they're a colossal pain. I'm remembering that now. We actually got quite a lot done with the meager amount of cobbled deep slate we had. But it's just about time to be going Betty-bye. And yep, I can already feel that this is a place with attic energy. Oh, you all know what I mean. What? Did you just hear her? Did you just hear her meow at me? She wants a snack at 5:30 in the morning. The constant needs mean we have to be a camper in our own house just about every night. But there we are. And see, the scary thing is, I don't know if there's maybe some things that got erased in the creeper explosion. I don't know if we've slept in this room already, or even if the walls are still defined as they were before. Day 96. We need to go straight for the mines. Oh, hello. Are you looking for a room? Here, I guess we can leave this open for you. Oh, you prefer in here? Okay. Maybe I should spawn in a name tag for you if you like to live down here. Since we're just adding all kinds of pets today. It's been a while since I've been down here, mainly because this place sucks. You're gonna be a bit of a pain to keep in here. But this will at least ensure that we'll always know which one is you, right? And I am going to name you Yvonne. Only after the only other bat character I know from the 102 Dalmatians game. You remember that? I don't really have any kind of like special lore or backstory for you. I just think it's kind of cool that you're down here. The thing is, bats are like birds, according to the Bible, and also in that they need to be free. So I'm not gonna lock you here, but I am curious what your permanence is going to do for where you travel. Gee, what? Why? Why is that a sound? Why is that just a regular old cave sound? That's the worst. Alright, I've just replaced some mods that may have been somewhat damaged or otherwise messed up from transferring certain ones, but not all of them, over to a server I started. So now we're just looking for stuff. I think I've already got enough to finish building the roof. There you go. I'm really hoping that that was the source of the missing blocks, and we won't have to worry about it anymore. I still have my night vision potions. We could make a whole thing of this. So why not? Diamond and gold right next to each other. Yep, this is an immediately successful run. Don't you hate it when you're underground and the world reloads before your very eyes? This nice vision kind of makes the torch actually redundant. Yeah, what cave is this where suddenly I'm tripping over gold left and right? And I actually know the answer to that. The answer is a cave where I can see. I'm certainly not gonna complain. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, now you don't want me to see. I saw that. For a moment, that fish had mastered perfect levitation. Some of these structures are so perfect, they almost look player-made. Yeah, when you've got room and sight like this, the mining pretty much does itself, doesn't it? Thank you, sir. See, I guess this is the way to come away with a huge haul of diamonds and gold and iron. And we're not done yet. It's to come down here looking for simple deep slate. Yvonne, you've stuck around. Feel free to fly upwards one of these days, although I pretty much guarantee you won't be able to stay in the house. Whoa, I thought I was freaking out for a second, but it turns out it's just good timing. On our night vision potion, that looks really weird from down here. Like there's something else going on, another fire perhaps, another worldly fire in the photo room. But no such thing. We found 9 diamonds down there. And a whole bunch of gold as well, so that keeps us going even more than just finishing our roof. Let's put you right here beside the balcony. I've always been partial to spots like this. Actually, on this floor, we should not need to make any of our normal concessions. Yep, there we go. Perfect. But we are not going to sleep just yet. The seasons just cannot seem to decide what they want to do. Yep. Yeah, that's one way to climb down. Man, I can't wait to see what this thing looks like from a distance now that it's basically done. But for now, all I care about is getting some we could do some more work in the meantime. Howdy. Seeing you carry a mushroom and then look at me as if you've been caught in the act and then dashing over a couple of chests is really funny. Oh no, you invited friends. Oh, you invited a whole... Okay, well, it's a regular convention in here now. This is starting to grow, but I really didn't want to keep it here forever. So I kind of had an idea. You know, since we haven't actually fully built into this back area yet. Please, no mobs. Thank you. This could be where we grow this stuff. We've been lacking a garden for stuff like sugarcane and cacti, so this could be that space. Also, if we want to cash in, like really cash in, let's hunt around. This is like stud finding. There we go. Why don't we just build kind of around this to get some light in here? Okay, rise and shine, CC. We are ready to continue building that room. So let's get over here. Yeah. Oh my god, that was... It was like you were just sitting in that chair. That was so freaky. Alright. Building. Doing more building. Always lots of fun in building. I don't know what to make of the world itself seemingly starting to degrade around me. I'm pretty sure I've more or less fixed it at this point. I haven't seen anything else happening. But it was a real scary time for a little while, and I fear that couldn't possibly be the end of it. I don't know, maybe this whole world is just struggling under the weight of everything I built on top of it. I've always got to make everything, even the apocalypse, about me, huh? I was thinking, which side of the glass should the glass be on? How about right here? That way there's no chance of anything spawning inside there. I don't know, I guess I'm sort of paranoid about that kind of thing. I know that golden axolotls are a thing, and so it always freaks me out when you breach the surface and you seem to shimmer like that. But anyway, that should also have the effect of letting a little more light in through here, even if the same source pokes through there. And I'm thinking, like, it's cool because it also has the sort of double feature. In fact, I kind of feel like even opening it up more, it kind of has the double feature of being, like, an indoor beach. There we are. Not sure how much I like that, to be honest, but, well, it certainly opens this up a bit. And I'm thinking that, like, basically this entire thing is going to be sand, because there's no reason for it not to be. And we'll just, like, strategically place our water so that we can grow whatever we need. There we are. Now we're back to having 4 cacti growing at all times, and plenty of sugarcane. It's a little ugly, but maybe we can rearrange things in the future. Either way, it makes things a little livelier. We'll have our resources, so we'll have something to use when it comes time to develop color film. And we even had time to put in a skylight, although we still need to patch the rest of this. No wonder I couldn't find this boat earlier. It's gone to the bottom. It sank. You know what must have happened? The ice must have spawned where it was. I came out here for a little recovery mission, and then I couldn't even find it. But if we head back across the way, we should get a pretty nice view of that. Look at how it looms over the forest that way. And because it's so wide, it sort of is even more imposing than the Witch's Tower, in my opinion. This whole thing just feels like, you know when you're a kid and you draw your dream fort? Of course, we have got to see another angle on this. Look. Ah, this is the best one yet. That is so awesome. I mean, that's the value of properly doing roofs. It's literally the entire difference between the exterior of a house looking good and looking bad. But man, it is insane how far we've come, isn't it? My big fear for this series was always that it would be ever-expanding, but not very interesting. That I would end up playing this as safely as possible and just kind of making it an ever-expanding series of cubes, but it seems like Minecraft just has this way about it where, no, you will always end up telling a story, even when constraints seem to make it so that you should be doing otherwise. It seems like winter is truly over because the lake is slowly but surely unthawing. That's convenient because we're going to need a whole lot of squids. But this time, it's not in the name of developing photos. No. One of you had an idea, which I really want to put into action. It's going to require sand, gravel, and a whole lot of black dye. There's that sound again. Wait. We heard this over here once before, haven't we? My God. How did you get here? You're like one of those visitors of the week on Courage the Cowardly Dog or something. The kind that just shows up at the door and invites itself in. Friendly at first, and maybe an unwelcome house guest that's here to stay. So long as we don't get on your bad side. Come on, you guys know the drill. We have to make sure you don't go run off on us because, I mean, hey, when the potential for emergent storytelling deposits itself literally in your upper floor, you take that opportunity. I've also realized between record sessions that the reason these blocks were all disappearing is likely because they were all related to the immersive weathering mod. So right now I'm just kind of going back and collecting all the stuff I can that can help with our crafting endeavors. Come on, we've like hardly picked up any gravel from this whole thing. Here, squiddies. I don't know how much bang we get for our buck here, but I know we're probably gonna need a lot. I have not really been stockpiling. I actually have no idea if it's possible to farm these things. Really, there's nothing much in the base game that requires so much of this dye. Straight into the mouth of a hungry spider. There's always a bigger fish. Man, isn't there some mod where you can just, like, take a stick of dynamite and drop it in the water and then have them all float up to you? Aquatic spiders are not what we needed to be added to the mix. If we wanted concrete... Oh, even with the meager amount we've got here, with ink, of course, being the bottleneck, that is a decent amount. That is a decent amount of black concrete powder, which we can pour at a later time. We've just got to get some more of those squid. Each one of you now represents at least 8 blocks of this stuff, and I want it. Guy, there we go. See, the thing I've come to realize about Minecraft over the course of this playthrough is that efficient building projects in survival mode really rely on you saying, okay, I'm going to take this day and I'm just going to gather this resource. I'm going to take this day and I'm just going to gather huge obscene quantities of this resource. But you can't do that here. And so it's been a little frustrating, but also kind of cool having to work within these constraints. Having to always move, having to do a little bit of everything each day. We have to give special focus to our bottlenecks when we can, but that's just not always a possibility, and things are constantly getting in the way, things you don't normally have to consider. Come on, don't try and hide in there. I'm trying to think about where this new edition is going to go, and since I've been kind of trying to build down here a little bit, I think that will not be a bad place to start. Looks pretty nice from over here. Although we do still need some glass to fill that in. I think since over here is into the mountain, and because it's a nonsensical place to put such a thing, we are going to begin our construction here. By the way, how is this doing? Already starting to grow stuff. I don't know if this depends on light, but at least by day it should be able to get enough here. I've really got to stop screwing around, though. I need to make sure that we have a bed to sleep in. I really hate that I'm removing source blocks for this, and so it's starting to make this a little wonky. You know, I will say, we haven't actually heard from Herobrine in a little while. I mean, part of that could be attributed to maybe the mod got messed up before I fixed everything. But, I don't know. I've learned that when the activity is diminished, we should not diminish our alertness. You know, I'm now realizing we're gonna hit day 100 in this video. There's another one of your sign suggestions. And I cannot wait to get to work on this. I think we actually have enough gravel and sand that we can actually get a lot of things going. It's just going to be a matter of covering them all together. So if we come into the kitchen, we should be able to craft even more concrete. There we go. Oh, there's just so much. There we are. This whole place is starting to decay as I leave it. That's the really cool thing about this, and like immersive weathering and just like all this stuff, is that you really feel the rot. You really feel the old parts that we just don't go to anymore. When you're always building, you quickly find that you leave parts of your own house unattended because, well, you've got to focus on something else. And the bigger it gets, the more your focus starts to shift. Alright, come on guys, I'm just looking for some easy gravel. Using concrete as a building material in Minecraft may seem a daunting task with the requirements, but it's really not that bad at all. I don't need too much of this, and that's because of our suggested use case. Hey, do you know Yvonne? See, the thing is, we don't actually need a ton of this. We just need, well, we're going to use all of this concrete, I think. We're going to use as much as we can, because we're probably not going to need it for anything else. And the easiest way to do it is going to be to tunnel straight into the hillside, and just kind of construct whatever casing we need for it. Now the trick to this is that we want this to be decently wide, so I think that should do us fine. There we go, but it does drop down. Okay, so that could help with building potentially. We don't want this to be too big because we don't want the resource requirements to be that much, and if we come up here, that will turn to solid concrete as soon as we pour water on it. That is really cool. I mean, it's just one little extra step, but it makes it feel so much more like a process, you know? There we go. And we just keep using the same bucket over and over. And as you can see, that is totally pitch black. You see where I'm going with this? Actually, let's do a little test. Let's put you in here and pour this. And then if we use a pick on you, we do get you back in your state. So we can then use you as a door cap right there. Like, hey, how kind of you to rejoin us. Okay, well, we just have to put on the roof cap now. And I'm still not entirely sure how this is going to work. I think maybe we'll leave this here so that there's a space to do something with that later. And really, that's gonna be the shortest part. So what we really want to do is take some of this dirt we've accrued and go like that and like that. And we really want to get on top of it. Same is going to be said for here. Oh, here comes the rain. I guess we can do some science. Will this work? Yeah, it doesn't seem really like it does, but even a single bucket of water should be able to get some stuff done here. There we go. And I figure by pouring it this way, we don't have to worry about replacing it later. Is it more work than just pouring it on the ground and doing it that way? Probably. But hey, I've never messed with this before, and I want to get an idea for what it's like. There goes the clock chiming, and I have taken a wrong turn to get back up here. You're suddenly very loud. When that clock is chiming, suddenly I'm in a panic, regardless of how justified that actually is. But anyways, we've now got to get down there and finish pouring all this. The interior, it didn't really get, because these parts weren't exposed, only the outer ring. There we go. And we can start removing the dirt. Oh wow, no, this didn't, it didn't get this, which makes sense. There we go, and you see, what we have here is essentially a sensory deprivation chamber. All the rooms in the house, this is the one you least want to find yourself in the middle of the night. Because, well, the only real sense is depriving you of is sight. And in here, getting any sense of touch or sound is, well, probably most unwelcome. Now, if we just come over here and place a door, we can hardly see it as we put this away, and if we remove our torch, even less so. Just think about this, man. You're here relaxing by the pool, arguably the brightest lit and coziest part of the house, one of the only places where you can have actually good company. Then you can go have even more good company by stepping into here. Look at this, a perfect unwind area, a cozy bar beside the pool. And then one wrong turn, what looks like a closet in the corner. Literal nothingness. Look at that, it's even cooler from this angle. Well, at least there's some relief during the rain. A man builds his tower, and room upon room, a house becomes a maze to escape certain doom. A labyrinth of hallways, of stairs and small spaces, though the man keeps on building to keep at bay what chases. The darkness has made the man his own slave, and soon he will realize he built his own grave. There we go. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. I could sleep in there. I don't necessarily want to, but I could. I'm waiting for you, bud. Come on now, I know you're right down there. Don't do this to me. Yep. Okay. And die. Some windows up here wouldn't go amiss, but it made for a climactic battle. Where did I actually sleep earlier? Oh, right, it was just in here. Sleeping in view of the light of my pet should make for a nice unwinder. There we go. I mean, we've got the rooms, we might as well use them. It's been a long time since we actually had to scramble to build something on a particular day. We'll mark this as done and start on the next project. Oh, you're chiming the morning hour, are you? You just do whatever you want, don't you? You know, I just can't stop thinking about one of your suggestions, which was to have something running under the lake as part of the house. And at first I wasn't going to do it. First of all, it'll be really resource intensive, and also because, well, it doesn't seem to fit the vibe. But then I thought, symbolically, we realized very early on that it doesn't matter that we moved ourselves across the lake, because the problem is us, not the house we tried to live in. So, what if we decided to have it both ways? Have the old house become part of the new house? And I can think of only one way to do that. All the way back in the bonus episode 0, which you can see on the Patreon, we built the... Oh my god, jeez, okay, we've got squatters. We're gonna have to clear them out first. Yep. There we go. The goal now is gonna be to tunnel deep, but not too deep, and try and connect this thing at long last onto the lake itself, which has become our great burden. There we go. Oh, underwater construction. Very annoying when you don't have any water breathing. I mean, I suppose we could enchant our helmet, hope to get something like that. Or just fish and do some potions for once. This project is coming along swimmingly, no pun intended. Oh, alright, a little bit intended. But the point is, it's not supposed to be super obvious from the surface, and it's not really built for observation. It's really meant to be more of a passage. Something that is utility rather than cool. Of course, if we wanted utility rather than cool, we would just build this whole thing out of our massive stocks of dirt, but hey, you gotta have flair where you can get it, right? Hello, lawnmowers. Nice of you to arrive. Means that dawn is breaking in real life. It's starting to look like the end of this tunnel is going to coincide right on our fan art room. meaning that that inner sanctum will not only be a place to reflect on those helpful spirits that have been guiding me along the way, but also a means of escape. So let's get down here and start making sure we do it in style. You know, like El Chapo. I wish these paintings weren't so prohibitively expensive, or I would have absolutely covered this place in them by now. But it seems like here is as good a place as any to sleep. It is currently 3:12, and, well, we really don't have any time to waste. So let's stick you here, and you here. I really, really hope the fire that finally gets us doesn't originate here. That would be something. But sweet dreams, and here's to day 100. Excuse me. I can hear the birds chirping. Are you not going to bring in the new day? Oh, there we go. It was just a little bit delayed. I honestly cannot believe how long it's been. How long it's taken to get all this. But that's the nature of this. The longer it goes, it theoretically has no end. It would take a really bad situation to truly end this run, and at the end of the day, it's the kind of thing that actually has a reverse difficulty curve. The longer we go, the easier it becomes to sustain all this, but the more mad it tends to drive us. I don't know, maybe that's just the problem with me, that I always have to feel like I'm winning some kind of victory, even against the undead forces of my own guilty legacy. It's really just handing me the reins of my own punishment and letting me think that I'm the torture master. But joke's on them, I've always enjoyed being a torture master. Really, the only one I can recall ever having any fondness for is the little claimed creature inside the pool. And even then, it's kind of a one-sided relationship. Although, it doesn't seem to mind being in there. Certainly beats its accommodations from before. I definitely saw you. Oh, you were just like wisps, like ashes hanging in the air in the shape of a person. That might be the most haunting figure we've seen yet. I don't know, maybe resembling something we saw as we fled our kingdom. But yeah, it's going to... Why is it behaving like this? Oh, you're going to cause all kinds of problems, aren't you, you mossy blocks? Well, our tunnel across the lake is just about complete. And full disclosure, I ended up resorting to creative mode for this because this got absolutely ridiculous. And I don't feel the least bit bad about it because this, by all accounts, should have worked. But no matter what configuration I did this in, I literally built and rebuilt it several times in survival, and it just wouldn't work. Anytime these panes were here, it just wouldn't work. Then in creative, I even tried removing them, replacing this all with cobblestone so it would remove the source blocks here, because I heard they could get waterlogged, and replacing them then with panes still didn't work. Panes, they just don't work underwater as far as I can tell. Here we are officially under the house. And that is unmistakably our abode. Let's see how we're doing this. Boom, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect match. So if we decide to have a room in here, this can wrap around, and there it is. You saw everything, huh? Well, tell you what, I do have something special planned for night 100, and it does not involve blowing up my storage for the 50th time. I can hear my old enemies stalking. Possible that they're even inside these halls, although quite unlikely. Nobody would dare enter. You know, I recently went back and saw comments saying I'm going to be the origin of the Woodland Mansion. Well, it seems like they're now getting the opposite experience of what I got. Oh god, you guys have no idea what you just walked into! Come on! What is all this? You guys really planned something special for tonight, huh? No, you don't. Get out of here. We do not have time for this. Oh my god. It's just never enough in this place. It's just never enough. Even with you banished, I can still hear you around. Didn't take you long at all, did it? The sun will be rising soon. Yes, it will. But we are not going to meet it. On our 100th night, all I know is that Nox put in the work, you've put in the work of watching 10 episodes of this series. I'm just waiting for 333 because I feel that number may have been significant in a different life. And with our save backed up, you're curious, I'm curious. What is it that we've been running from all this time? I feel like this can't continue without us knowing. 321. Under the watchful eyes of those that protect us and guide us. Let's have ourselves a look. 326, 329, 330, 332. That's all. Nothing but a nightmare like we've had before. But one which rouses us, which doesn't allow us to sleep through the night. But wait, that means that isn't the worst thing that can happen to us. The spirits find us, but all they do is deny us rest. We still haven't seen what almost got us when we were nowhere near a bed. Well, with the sun quickly rising, the question we've got to ask then is, can ghosts swim? Does it perhaps work like It Follows? And if we can get ourselves to a boat, what happens if we're in the middle of the lake when we're so far away from a bed? Looking out at this convoluted trap that we built, really more for ourselves as well as those pursuing us. I don't know, maybe my time in the sensory deprivation chamber did something to me to want this. I'm keeping one eye over my shoulder for what's gonna come for me. Probably not you, right? That would be so funny if this whole time I was worried about one chainmail zombie. 521. Vision fading. If I'm not in bed, the morning will pull me into the night. They found you. I guess it was just a dream. A preview of what's... Oh, no. Oh, God! Oh, no! No, it wasn't! We lost everything! Wait, hang on. Good opportunity to test. If we go down into the tunnels... Oh, dark, 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 dark. We have no torches, no nothing. And on the dawn of day 101... Can we see if our stuff is still floating out there, or do we just lose it entirely? I have a feeling that stuff is just forfeit. Yep. Look at that. Imagine those future explorers find this place and venture into my long-abandoned abode. And they find nothing here except for the rotting remains themselves and a lone boat out on the water with no idea what happened to the occupant to leave it there. Nope. It seems we actually did scatter all this stuff to the wind, although I like to imagine that by then it would have sunken into the mud. Artifacts left all over inexplicably. Oh, never mind. It really was a dream. It really was. But nevertheless, I just kind of passed out on the spot, and we do actually have to find a spot to sleep. And I think there are still some open rooms in the tower. If we can navigate there without falling victim to the things that stalk these halls. Cece, your sight gives me comfort in these times. Upstairs, I can hear creepy crawlies creepy crawling about. 250. Not long now. I think right here will do us just fine. Actually, wait. Oh, wait. Can we get away with something a little bit fun? Sun will be rising soon. Yes, yes, yes. If we come right out here, what if we sleep on the balcony? What if we just prop ourselves up right here? I don't know, I'm feeling daring. And with that, instead of the outcome of the terrible nightmare we had, we get to look out over our kingdom and watch our enemies burn away. This series has been so much fun, and, you know, there's just so much room for emergent storytelling. I'm gonna have to go get that. And much like From the Fog, it's very much an extension of what's enjoyable about Minecraft. It's just putting it into a slightly more concentrated form. It gives us a gameplay reason why we have to keep building, something that kind of bridges the gap between creative and survival, where we have to manage creative and practical expectations. It's also alike in that, by its very nature, everyone's world is going to come out looking different. Everyone's world is going to tell a different story. Something that's a reflection of the person themselves and of the circumstances that the world generation found them in. And finally, much like Minecraft, the only thing really limiting you is your own imagination. This can go on for as long as you can keep finding things to do, as long as you can keep finding places to build. However, I'm going to make just one tiny little suggestion for Nox. And I understand that this is a very niche mod to begin with, something that most people aren't going to play with most of the time, and this is going to make it even more divisive, and so I think this should be a config option that you have to enable, not something that's on by default. But I think this mod would benefit greatly from a hardcore mode, something where, if we are caught without a bed, if we don't have a new place to sleep, the whole world gets deleted. And so all the time you spent running, all the experiences, all the rooms you built, it all just collapses into nothing. That is the terror that you're running away from. The terror of the closest thing to true death. Or, ooh, maybe even better yet, having a large fiery explosion at the site of every bed you've slept in, whether there's still something there or not. That'll surely destroy your base and leave you scrambling for something new, while still giving you some way to recover. And if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this mod out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. If you want to download this map in its current state, that will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one. And if you do want to expand this, try your hand for yourself. Well, I suppose it's only right that I show you the mod list to make sure that you have everything you can use. Now, if you come into here, we have all of these things. I will be throwing all the necessary data packs onto the screen. And just remember that this is version 1.20.1.